All right. This is big time. Can you hear me? Is this working? All right. There we go. I think my mic's working now. I can hear myself. So, coming at you with another defensive gun use, another reaction to another Temple student being robbed because they're stupid, proximity. I don't know what student thought it was a good idea to go to North Philly. Someone who was probably taught their whole life that they're evil because they're white. And we have the Philadelphia Inquirer's reaction to somebody defending their property because they think that's a bad thing because you're not allowed to defend yourself from the black community. And then finally, they're coming for your kids. If you're new to the channel, my name is Big Time. Typically cover what's called defensive gun use. This is the Gun Violence Archive, link in the description. And you'll see here that independently run, not run by the government, thank God, because they'll lie to you. Been 627 mass shootings. If there ever is another big publicized mass shooting, I'll cover it too. But usually I focus here on the defensive gun uses. And this isn't even all of them. And unfortunately, while that's true for the mass shootings, that's also true for the defensive gun uses. And I want you to see that there is almost half the number of defensive gun uses. So we're going to get right into the defensive gun use. Let me just share my screen. Coming out of Houston. Had a man and a woman breaking into vehicles, and a homeowner said, no more. So in Houston, they believe in gender equality, Hollow Point style.
Now the search is on for a man police say was breaking into cars in a Spring Branch neighborhood.
Police say it was with a woman who was found dead in a ditch. Her body was found early this morning on Harlan near Antoine
Crime doesn't pay.
Drive. That's where we find Gerald Harris now. Gerald.
Yeah, police said that witnesses told them that a man and a woman were seen burglarizing cars. Now the woman is dead and the man is on the run. Video surveillance shows a red Toyota RAV4 driving down Antone Drive just moments before the car would turn onto Sear Street, where things would turn deadly.
10 shots. Pow, pow, pow. Pow, 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 pow.
Around 4 a.m., neighbors here on Harlan Drive were awakened to gunfire. Soon after.
So it's possible that they were driving into another neighborhood. That's common. Not a smart idea to rob in your own neighborhood because it's likely someone will recognize you.
After a young woman was found dead in a ditch.
It's unusual. I mean, the neighborhood's real quiet. We had no trouble in this neighborhood at all.
Yeah, everybody always says that. I know people who live in Philly who say nothing ever happens, even though they would see the same amount of crime I did. It's just denial.
Video surveillance also shows police arriving at the scene moments after the shooting. The same red Toyota with bullet holes would be towed from the scene.
All of these houses are rentals, or many of them, and so a lot of traffic in and out of all of them. So nothing about that particular car stands out.
Police say an unidentified male along with the deceased woman were seen by residents burglarizing vehicles in the area. One of the residents shot and struck the woman. The unidentified male fled the scene on foot.
Good. I like equality. If a woman starts robbing people, I like that people shoot her too. That's good. You want to be treated like a man? Guess what? You were. Now, again, personally, Pennsylvania, where I live, this doesn't, in my opinion, I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice, but in my opinion, this might be seen as a crime. I think it's different in Texas and places like Tennessee and Texas. They have a different type of castle doctrine that actually extends to their property, like to their yard. In Pennsylvania, you can't come upon a person robbing you. Like in this instance, if the homeowner wasn't in the car, then your life is not technically in danger. So it sounds like he opened fire on the woman robbing his car. And look, I know that sucks, but there's no point in going to jail when your life isn't in danger. You know what I mean? The way things are going, they're trying to make guns illegal, and they're trying to make defending yourself illegal, especially against black people. Because, the poor blacks. But in this case, this guy opened fire on people that were breaking into cars. And look, I don't feel sorry for you. You know how I don't get shot? I don't break into my neighbors' homes. I don't steal my neighbor's stuff. I don't get shot. I live in Pennsylvania. I live in a Castle Doctrine state. I'm not stupid. But that's just my advice. If someone's breaking in your house and you're not technically in your house, or if they're breaking into your car, or they're breaking into your business, and your life is not in danger or your family's not in danger, just look, man, call the police, drive away, let it go. That's my opinion.
An unknown direction. Houston police did question two men, took them downtown, and then released them. Now, police are looking for that individual who fled the scene. If you have any information.
Also, what a guy. He just left a woman. What a dude. So anyway, that's my defense of gun use. A gun was used to potentially stop a criminal. And again, questionable, but in certain states, if you're on your property, you know, that's the law. And that just makes you a stupid criminal. You know, you want to rob people, go to Jersey, go to New York. You're not allowed to defend yourself in those states. They have a duty to retreat. All right. Temple student who's now terrified to be at Temple because apparently the black community just doesn't feel sorry for you, colonizer. But that's okay. Let's go to Temple and let's
And
not
I'm
be allowed to
Jessica
defend ourselves, right? When you go to college, your Second Amendment right doesn't count. Unbelievable.
Talia, we begin at 5 with a CBS 3 exclusive. A Temple student is opening up about a terrifying incident near campus.
A man pointed a gun at his chest, demanding his.
A man. No description. A man. Wow, that's very specific news. Thank you for helping me identify the potential criminal who might rob somebody else. Good job, news. You're failing.
His phone and more. This is just one of two armed holdups that have happened near Temple over the past week.
Eyewitness News reporter Matt Petrillo is in North Philadelphia with why this victim says he's afraid for other students. Matt?
Justin Yuki, that's right. You know, it is finals week here at Temple, and that student I spoke with tells me instead of focusing on his studying and worrying about getting good grades, he is worried about his safety.
It's hard to go to class when you're in fear of safety.
A Temple University sophomore who wants to remain
And again, that's why they rob you, you dumb fuck. They know you're not carrying. Temple students aren't even allowed to have mace. It's so stupid. Why do your amendments suddenly end when you walk on this campus? It's not another country. Aren't we still in the United States?
Anonymous says a man approached him and his two friends along the 1600 block of West Burke Street and.
But don't worry, the school will teach you it's racist to fight back. Oh, well, they're oppressed. Let them rob you.
Demanded they empty their pockets. It happened just after midnight Sunday morning as the students were headed home from a friend's house.
My heart rate is pumping. Like, I don't really know how to act. I'm just telling him, like, you know, you can, like, calm down. It's like, you can have my stuff. Just don't shoot me.
The student says the suspect wanted cash, but the three students didn't have their wallets on them. The suspect then changed his tone.
Oh, walk safety in numbers. No, there's just more of you to rob. None of you are going to fight back, and they know that. I did a story where 8 Temple students were robbed at the same time. Your choices are leave. You're not allowed to enact your Second Amendment right at this school. This is a communist school.
Oh.
After that, he put the gun away and he said, don't worry, like, you guys need to calm down. I'm not going to shoot you or harm you or anything. And then he was talking to us about, like, I don't even know, like, just how he was trying to do it for his family and, like, try to provide and things like that. He just said, you know, like.
He was trying to get you to feel sorry for him, you dumb fuck. Oh, man, you know, like, shit's hard. I got to rob people, you know? It's tough, bro. You know, I didn't do my homework in school, but even though they passed me and I couldn't read, I still got to threaten your life. Poverty, yo. Yeah, it's not like I can go to community college. Imagine paying $40,000 a semester just to get robbed. And on top of that, be told you're racist. Fuck this school.
college students are an easy target.
Police are also investigating a separate incident that happened on the 1800 block of North Willington Street just a few days earlier Thursday night. In that incident, an armed suspect took 2 Temple students' wallets. Police say that armed robbery is around the corner from the attempted armed robbery Sunday night and could be connected. Temple's vice president wrote in an email to students saying, quote, "The Philadelphia Police Department's Central Detective Division is leading the investigation to see if there are any linkages between the crimes."
I have a link. They're both men. Are they both black men? I bet that's a link, but they'll never say that, right? That's racist. You know, when you send your kids somewhere where they're being robbed with guns in their face, you suck as a parent. Do you understand?
It's a little scary, especially because, you never know when it could happen again.
And that student also tells me he wants to see action from the university, like more patrolling. He also wants.
But the police racist, yo. Oh, so the college is supposed to protect you. Oh, you're not supposed to protect yourself, right? So when you go to a school that tells you you're not allowed to protect yourself, you expect them to protect you. You see how they're turning this, see how they're brainwashing this kid? I understand this is victim blaming in a way, but you don't have to go to the school. Community College of Philadelphia is 1/3 of the price per semester.
Temple University to expand its police patrol range outside of where they.
Oh, now you want more cops. I bet this fucking kid 2 years ago posted the black square on Twitter. I bet this kid put his fucking hand in the air, Black Lives Matter. And now you want more police. Make up your fucking mind. Okay. And we have a reaction from Philadelphia Inquirer, which is basically pro-black crime. Let me pull it up here. Hang on. I got a guy from the Inquirer who speaks out.
Yeah, so
he doesn't like the fact that people are defending themselves. Well, that's a bad sign. That's bad. Black criminals should just be allowed to destroy the community. Let's listen to what he says, and I'll give my counterpoints, okay?
As crime rises in Philadelphia, some businesses are saying enough is enough. In fact, one gas station owner took matters into his own hands recently. He hired a security team armed with AR-15 rifles after his store was vandalized and an
Oh my God, they don't even know what kind of guns they are. You dumb bitch. They're automatic shotguns.
ATM was stolen. Since hiring the guards, he says there hasn't been any loitering or other crimes.
Whoa, really? You mean ever since good guys showed up and said no more, there's been no more crime? Oh, that's crazy. It's almost like when they know you're going to fight back, it's almost like they don't like that. Whoa, you're going to fight back? Oh, man, now I got to go to Chinatown.
Would say they wouldn't mess with those AK-47s or whatever those are.
Oh my God, they're not. It's always unbelievable when people with the least amount of knowledge have the largest platform. Isn't that terrifying? Oh, these AR, whatever they are. Does she complain to the armed security in her office? I bet she doesn't.
AR-15s. In the past month alone, Philly police responded to over 350 commercial burglaries, more than 400 gunpoint robberies, and nearly 500 shootings. Burglaries have spiked 43% from this time last year. Robberies with guns are up 32%. Let's bring in Daniel Pearson, an editorial writer for the
But let's not talk about why. Let's not bring up the reason of, maybe the district attorney who's being the social worker, who's not punishing the criminals. No. Let's not talk about the reason why. Let's not talk about outlaw, right? Let's not talk about the 400 police officers who have quit the force because when you arrest a criminal, they're let go again. Oh, you mean people are not going to take it anymore? No, you're just supposed to let the black community destroy it.
Philadelphia Inquirer. You focus on crime and government in the city. Thank you for being with us. Could what this gas station owner did, hiring private armed security, could that become the norm in Philadelphia?
I hope not. I hope not. Right now, it's an isolated incident. We've got
I don't like communists.
one person who's taken this step. Most business owners, even if they've added security, they haven't added armed security.
Yes, but guess what? Legally, they can do that. Why does every black person I seem to see at every liberal newspaper have a problem with people defending their property? What is that? I thought it was bad enough at Rittenhouse, or even worse before that with the LA riots. There are interviews with the black community from the LA riots where they were mad at the Koreans for defending their property. What is this with certain types of black people? You're upset that people are defending their property? Are you this upset at all the shootings she just talked about from your community?
Especially not heavily armed security like you see here. It's never a good sign when you have more people walking around with heavily armed in urban environments where you're negotiating space all the time.
Urban environments where you're negotiating space. Listen to the fucking words he talks about. Let me translate. It's a problem when people start exercising their Second Amendment right around black crime. Do we need to go back to these numbers? Who's committing all of these crimes? Oh, I hate this motherfucker. I hate the Philadelphia Inquirer.
Getting space all the time.
What are residents and business owners, what are they saying to you about what they're facing every day, though, as the city sees a rise in crime, particularly at gas stations?
Yeah, so carjackings at gas stations are something that have particularly picked up. And throughout the year, we've seen a rise in
Picked up by who? By which community? By who?
justified homicide as well. A sharp increase because more and more people, whether they are engaged in a legal activity or not, have decided that they need to arm themselves for their own protection. So,
yeah, I wonder why. Why is there never any pushback on this fucking news station? God, so all this crime is increasing. None of the criminals are being punished. And you have a fucking problem with people defending themselves? Don't worry. I'm going to bring up something. You'll see my outrage.
Residents, they want to see more of our murders get solved. Right now, we have a very low clearance rate for murder. And
why is that? Again, they say all these things, but they don't, they don't tell you the reasoning. See how they try to walk around it? 400 police officers in Philadelphia quit this year. The homicide clearance rate is down. The citizens are aware that the people committing the crime, 90% black, are not going to be punished. So they're taking it upon themselves. This isn't New York. This isn't California. This isn't Canada. This isn't New Jersey. This is still Pennsylvania, and you can still defend yourself. And this guy has a fucking problem with that.
residents also want to see fewer guns on the street so they can feel comfortable not carrying themselves.
No, you feel comfortable. No, I want to hear those people say that. I don't believe that at all. That's you. And I bet, again, the Philadelphia Inquirer, I bet they have armed security, and he never bitches about it one time.
Philadelphia's district attorney, Larry Krasner, his name's been in the news quite a bit. He's been heavily criticized for what some are saying, an unwillingness to prosecute gun crimes. How much more gun violence?
Gun crime, gun violence. See the little fancy, cute terms they use? You mean black.
With Philadelphia seeing this rise in gun violence, how much more is leadership being criticized and being called out and people wanting a change?
Yeah, so right now we're seeing an effort to impeach and remove Larry Krasner in the state legislature. It's based on this idea that he hasn't prosecuted gun crime significantly enough. Krasner himself has said that he doesn't want to replace the war on drugs with a war on guns. He doesn't want to see the effort to, get guns off the street become something that drives incarceration in our city jails. But as this crisis continues, more and more people are going to be asking him to reverse course on that. More and more people are sticking up, from the police and some crime researchers in the city to community groups and saying, look, we need to take carrying guns illegally more seriously in the city and prosecute and convict in more of these cases.
Wow, it's almost like punishing people when they commit serious crime works. Interesting. And I also want to see those numbers. I want to see Larry Krasner's prosecution numbers. I want to see the numbers.
So, what is the current state of the police force? That's a big question for a lot of major cities. Are there enough officers on patrol? Are they facing a similar situation that they are in New York, where more officers are leaving the force?
We haven't seen this large exodus like New York City has, but we definitely are seeing a situation where we would like to see more civilianization so we can get more officers who are currently doing administrative tasks out on patrol. So right now we have officers doing jobs like graphic design, delivering mail. In the future, we prefer if those officers were out on patrol. There was recently an arbitration deal that should allow for that over time, but we'd like that process to go as quickly as possible so we can get those officers back out on patrol, doing investigations and the other essential tasks that only police can do.
Daniel.
Wow, so more cops. Okay. So if anybody's wondering why I fucking hate this guy and the Philadelphia Inquirer, let me make it clear. Here's an article from 2 years ago. Hang on, let me pull it up. So in case anybody's wondering why I have such an issue. So this was from 2 years ago when what is it? Walter Wallace, this degenerate hood rat who was on his 9th kid, who beat his parents, threatened to shoot his mom, threatened to shoot one of his kids' baby mamas, punched a police officer, and also kicked in a door and robbed a woman, what she says, at gunpoint. So clearly a future astronaut. He was beating his parents one day, and the police was called to that home multiple times. When the police came to stop him from beating his parents, he comes out with a knife, a giant knife. There's 2 cops. They yell at him for about a minute to put the knife down, and finally they shoot him. So the guy was clearly mentally unstable and had a, look, you're beating your parents. I'm probably assuming you beat your kids. And then what happened after he was shot? Well, now it's time to get sneakers. Now it's time to destroy our home because racism or something. And that led to the riots of Philly in 2020. Now, this guy from the Philadelphia Inquirer, wait, not a guy, Ingra Saffron was fired for basically writing an article saying, I don't think it's a good idea to burn down our city. And where is it? Yeah, right here. Damaging buildings disproportionately hurts the people's protesters are trying to uplift. And after all the feedback and after all the black people who worked at the Inquirer, and probably white people too, they marched out. The Inquirer cucked and said, a headline published in Tuesday's Inquirer was offensive, inappropriate, and we should not have printed it. We deeply regret that we did it. Right. In other words, it's okay for the black community and stupid white people to destroy Philadelphia. Hey, that's cool. Let's make the ghetto bigger. That's my problem with the Philadelphia Inquirer. And this guy, let me go back. This guy from the Inquirer, in a roundabout way, they kind of talk about it. But oh, I don't like it when people defend their property. I don't like it that people are exercising their Second Amendment right. You're not going to talk about, oh, well, Krasner, the war on drugs, the war on guns. Yeah, that's all bullshit. It's your community, bro. 90+% of all those shootings and robberies and carjackings are coming from the black community. 90+%. Okay? I would just never understand why people have a problem with anybody else defending their property. Now, here's the reason they haven't screamed racism yet, okay? Here's the main reason. I'm going to bring up a photo right here. Hang on. The main reason they can't cry racism is number one, it's an Indian guy. This dude. So he's brown. So they can't come out and say, oh, it's racist. Oh, it's racist. It's racist. Right? Number two, all the security guards he hired are black. So you can't, if they were white, if the owner was white, there'd be some sort of colonizer. Oh, slavery and all the stupid bullshit. You're not letting us just destroy your community? But here's the real thing right here. Right here. See this? What do you, I love to say this. What do you see? Here's a grandma bringing her children to the store because they're protected. So what are you going to say, Philadelphia Inquirer? Is the Indian guy is now providing security. It's taking someone outside of the black community to do what the men from the black community should already do. Again, somebody else has to clean up the black community's mess. That's what I see. This Indian guy hired black men to protect grandmas, black grandmas, and black children. So this fucking Philadelphia Inquirer can suck it. Oh, you got a problem with people defending their property and defending your community? Fuck you. You got no problem supporting when your community burns it to the ground. And dumb white people, yes, dumb white liberals, I call them race traitors. You can't see that destroying a community destroys the community? Are you stupid? You must be fucking stupid. The white people that go to a community and burn it down and support black people burning it down are just as stupid. There's my olive branch for the day. But this guy literally has a problem with an Indian person protecting people who can shop at his store. Those people feel safe now. Now that there's 4 black men who decided to defend property with automatic shotguns, the people in that community now have a safe place to shop. Do you understand? Your community needs to be reined the fuck in. By force or the threat of force. And anyway, last story for the day. And they're coming for your kids. Oh, I love this part. I love shitting on CNN. I cannot wait for CNN to go bankrupt and just stop all their BS bullshit propaganda. The world would be a better place without CNN. Oy vey. Anyway, for my section of They're Coming for the Kids, disgraced CNN producer pleads guilty to child sex crime. Wow. CNN sounds like they're pro-pedo. It's coming from you, the post-millennial. Here he is. Here's another olive branch. I don't support pedophiles from any race, okay? For as much as I shit on the black community and all the crime that comes out of your community, anybody who touches kids in this fashion, give them a judge, give them a trial, give them a lawyer, jury, and then I'm cool with them dying by hard labor in prison. I'm cool with that. That doesn't bother me. You can work them to death like a farm in North Korea. That's fine. Again, fair trial, due process, yada, yada, yada. When they're found guilty, they can appeal 100,000 times. Death by hard labor in prison. No Russian Woods treatment. I kind of disagree with that a little bit. I can explain that later. Anyway.
Financial
Get to I'll read some of the article and I'll come here. Former CNN senior producer John Griffin has pleaded guilty in federal court after being accused of child sex crimes and charged a year ago. 2 of the 3 charges against Griffin, 45, were dropped by the federal government as part of the agreement. I wonder why. According to the Associated Press, Griffin must pay full restitution to the victims, an amount which will be determined by the court, and has agreed to forfeit a Tesla vehicle and electronic items and to donate half of the proceeds from the sale of his Vermont home and the upcoming sale of a Mercedes vehicle into the court registry. Is he going to prison or not?
Hey, 99% of people with an IRA or 401k
Griffin's
will not see
sentencing is
this
scheduled
video,
for
and
March
that would be a
2023. He
tragedy.
faces a minimum
Why
of
is
10
that?
years to life.
Well, because
good.
Forbes
And a
recently
fine of up to
commissioned an
$250,000.
independent study and
Must pay
quickly
full
saw
restitution
through
to the victims
the
of an amount
president's
to be
lies.
determined by the court.
He's not fighting
After his
for
prison
American
sentence,
workers
he'll
or those
also
on a fixed
likely,
income.
pardon
In
me,
fact,
he also likely
he
faces
wants to
supervised
pull the
release
rug
with
out from
conditions
under
which
you
include
and
participating in a
tax
sex offender
benefits for
treatment and
folks with more
registering
than
as a sex offender,
$20,000
and
in
cannot have
their
contact
IRA
with
and
anyone under the age of
401k
18
accounts.
except in the presence
So
of
if you have
probation
retirement
officer,
savings
approved
you
adult,
cannot afford to
and will be
lose,
prohibited from
then
being
you
near
should
schools,
pay close
playgrounds, theme
attention
parks, and other
to
areas
this
where
short
children
video
congregate
because
unless
the
approved in advance by the
implications
probation
are
officer.
catastrophic. You see,
Damn, bro.
this
It's
president
not
wants to
worth it.
raise $3.3 trillion
That's not
in
worth
new
it at all, man. Just
The
don't touch
establishment
kids.
media is at it again.
know?
Instead of denouncing the
The
Mar-a-Lago
ex-CNN
hit
producer
job
has
or
agreed to
exposing
forfeit his
Washington's
Tesla as
most
well as
recent
electronic
but
items and to
secret
donate
attack
half
on
of the
your
proceeds from the sale of
401k
his. Yeah, we read all
savings.
that. According to a
They're busy
federal indictment,
distracting you
Griffin, a
with junk
resident of
science on
Stamford,
everything
Connecticut, was
from
charged by
the
a grand jury in
indoctrination of our
Vermont
kids
with 3
to
counts of
stopping
using a
energy
facility of
exploration.
interstate commerce to
But
attempt
this
to
new
entice
report is
minors
about
to
to
engage
change
in
all that
unlawful sexual
because it
activity.
reveals what Alan
For
Greenspan
coercing
describes as the
parents to
Fed's
allow their
most
minor
secret way
daughters as
to
young as
seize
7
your
years old to
savings.
engage in sexual
You
activity
see,
in his Vermont
those in
ski home.
power have always had their eyes
Coercing.
on America's nest
Okay.
eggs.
I
After
wonder what
all,
that means.
They ramrodded
Is
retirees
that
with
like,
punishing
will,
social security taxes, and then
will he
rubbed
enact
salt
the
on our
Oy vey
wounds
mafia
by
and like
voting
get your bank
against the
account pulled and
abolition
get you
of death
fired from your
taxes in
job?
2010? But
You know,
while
the
that's
group of people that doesn't
unforgivable,
exist.
what they're doing
Was
now
there
is
like did he
unlike
have armed
anything
guards at
in U.S.
gunpoint?
history.
Like, what does that mean? And how
The
did he coerce
mainstream
them? That's
media
interesting.
will not
I
tell
wish
you
we'd cover
about
that.
this.
The U.S.
Many of
Attorney's
their
Office in
allies
Vermont wrote in a
desperately
statement
want
last
this
December that
expose
Griffin
hidden.
sought to persuade parents to
But
allow
by
him to train
stoking
their
the
daughters to be
flames of
sexually
inflation,
submissive.
our federal
According to the
overlords
indictment,
and
between
their
April and
cronies
July
in the Fed
2020,
Reserve have presided
Griffin
over
used
what some experts call
Griffin used online
the
messaging
greatest
platforms such
seizure
as
of
Google
wealth
Hangouts
in U.S.
to
history.
contact parents with underage
And
daughters
did
and
they
told
do it
them that a
all
woman is a
covertly?
woman regardless of her age.
Which means if you've saved up
Oh boy.
$50,000
And that
in
women
your
should be
IRA
sexually
and
subservient and inferior to
401k,
men.
then by the time these folks are hounded out of office in
The
2024,
U.S. attorney alleged
their free
Griffin later
spending,
transferred over
pro-inflation
$3,000 to the
policies
mother
will
for
have
plane tickets
secretly
so the
and
mother and her
magically shrunk your
9-year-old
portfolio to only $40,000.
could fly from
or
Nevada
even
to
far
Boston's
less.
Logan Airport. The mother and
That's why
child flew to
ex-Fed
Boston in
chair
July of
Alan
2020, where
Greenspan
Griffin
came out
picked
to
them up in
say
his
that
Tesla and drove
inflation
them to
is
his
just
Ludlow
another
house.
secret
At the
name
house, the
for
daughter
wealth
was directed to
confiscation.
engage in and did engage
So
in
now you're
unlawful
starting to
sexual
see
activity.
why inflation is
How did
part
he
of
coerce this
Washington's
mom?
playbook, right? But
How did he
remember,
coerce this
while
mother? That's
inflation
just as
could
important.
upend your retirement plans,
Any method that
we're not
powerful
even
people have
factoring in
to
all the
terrify
extra
normal
taxes
people,
you
if
must
that's what
pay,
happened, I don't know
or
if the
how
parents were
escalating
complicit or not,
geopolitical
should be
tensions
found out and
will
stopped.
affect your savings, or even the impact of
But
what
I understand that our
Forbes says
government likes
is
to
a
protect
major
people
stock
like Epstein
market
at all
correction
costs.
this year.
According to
But
messages
here's
included
the
by
good
the
news.
indictment, the CNN
You
veteran said he
don't have to
believes
sit
that
back
there
and
is a
let
wanton
Washington
whore
decide
at
your
the
financial
core of any
future.
female, and that a woman is a
You
woman
can
regardless of her
and
age.
should fight back right
So,
now
death by hard
before
labor
others
after due
decide your
process. The
retirement
text
for
messages the CNN producer
And
sent to the
before
mother
you
of two
surrender
daughters,
your
ages 9 and
hard-won nest
13.
egg
He
to
said
this
one of the big
brazen
lies of
wealth
this society is that
redistribution
women are
attack.
delicate, innocent angels,
We've
and that they
prepared
are in
a short
actuality
tell-all
naturally the
report
dirtiest
that
sluts
shows you
possible
the
in every
tax-free
metric.
IRA loophole
Griffin
that
also
could
texted
shield
the
your
mother, when
savings
handled
starting
appropriately, a
today.
woman is a woman regardless of
And
her
because
age,
we're committed to
and
ending this
encouraged the mom to
carnage,
make sure her
and
13-year-old
because
daughter
we're
was
sick
trained
and tired
properly.
of how Wall
The
Street fat
indictment
cats,
indicated that the
financial
producer of
managers,
CNN's now
and tax
canceled morning
attorneys
program New
suck you
Day
dry with
had
crazy
sexually
fees.
trained girls as young as
We're
7
giving
years old
away
and
this
advised a
wealth
mother that her
protection guide
14-year-old
for
daughter
free.
would be a
But
good
only
candidate
when
for
you
such
click the
training.
button you see
According to
right
Fox
now.
News,
And
the training
only
should
if
begin in a
you're among
video
the
chat
first
where he
100
planned to
investors
instruct the
who
14-year-old
act
and her
right
mother
now.
to remove their
So
clothing
go
and touch
ahead,
each other,
click
and
or tap the
eventually
button
declared
you see
in-person
right
meetings
now
would include
and get
spanking
access to a
and
free 25-page wealth protection guide
male
that
parts
shows you
worship.
the
According to
tax-free
court
IRA
filings, the
loophole
evidence against
you
Griffin
need to shield your nest egg.
included a drone footage
Take
taken
back
by the
control
ex-CNN producer,
now.
which showed a completely naked 9-year-old girl standing next to him in his underwear. The prosecutor's pretrial detention memo stated when confronted with this video during an interview by FBI agents, wow, the FBI actually did something besides trying to lock up conservative parents. Griffin's first response was merely to suggest he was not looking at the naked
or if
girl
you're
despite
already
that she was
retired,
standing so
all
close
of
to
your
him to be
hard-earned
touching.
savings now could
Griffin
be in
was
danger.
employed by the network
Why?
CNN,
Because we
in case you
have
missed
a
it, for 8
far-left
years and was
Democrat
fired shortly
in the
after his
White
arrest.
House
He
who
was
is
also hit
printing
with a
vast
$15
sums of
million
money,
civil lawsuit by
and
a
there's
9-year-old
no end
Jane
in
Doe.
sight. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron
Yeah,
Paul,
so
and this is a warning to all
here's the
Americans.
guy.
The people in power can dilute the value of your 401k or IRA at the push of a button.
Death by
But
hard
the good
labor, bro.
news is
Death by hard
there is
labor.
one strategy that can protect your
So
retirement
anyway, that's
savings
our
from
coming
dollar
for the
devaluation.
kids. That ends this stream. I'm Big Time, and that's news to me.